welcome back to Plumbing College. Today we are going to install a wash hand basin using copper pipe and waste pipe. We will be following a diagram. Let's do it. The first job we do is we dress the basin. This means putting the taps on and putting on the chrome waste. It is easier to do this before the basin is installed on the wall. In England, the hot goes on the left, the cold goes on the right. Using silicone sealant. And then underneath the basin, we'll put the washer on and the back nut. Okay, at this stage, just do it hand tight. And we then do the same with the cold tap. So what we're going to do now, we're going to use a basin wrench. And what we're going to do, we're now going to tighten up the taps. So that goes there. Hold the tap from underneath to stop it turning. And we then do the same with the cold taps. And we turn it. And we turn it. You need to hold it, because otherwise, if you didn't, that happens. We need to put on the waste. So in this case, because we've got a washer which goes inside here, we don't need to put any sealant on, because we never had this for here. That's the reason we use sealant, because here we got this, we don't need to use any sealant. So what we do is that goes through the hole, then we've got the black washer goes in there, and this time we just need a screwdriver to do it up tight. Right, the next job now is we need to remove off any excess sealant. Right, so what we need to do now is we need to mark out where the basin is going to go. So it needs to be 700 ml from the centre of the cold pipe to the centre of the basin. So that'll be our first measurement. Let's do it. Eyeball where the centre of the pipe is, and then using a spirit level, draw a level line downwards so we can then measure. We measure across 700 ml. Okay. Right, the next thing we need to do is mark out the height of the basin. So our diagram says it needs to be between 800 and 850 millimetres. Let's go for 850 millimetres. So let's draw a line 850 millimetres upwards. You draw a nice level line across. Okay, so it means the spillover level of the basin is going to sit here. We now need to find the centre of the basin We can draw a line there. That's the middle of our basin there. We're going to line the centre of the basin mark to this line here. We're going to make sure that this ledge is touching this line here, which it is. Once we're happy that that's in line, the centre, we then mark the 2 holes on the top of the basin. What we're going to do, using the bradawl, what we can do now, using some screws and a penny washer. Double check with a level. The next thing to do is to install the clips for the copper pipework. It's important to get the clips right if you want your copper pipework to look good. Okay, so we're going to measure up 50mm from the floor, which is there, to 50mm, and then the next I'm going to measure up 50mm again, which is 100mm, and do a mark here. And you then draw a line all the way across the bottom, and you then, on the second line, get the level, make sure it's level, a nice level line across. Okay, so we've drawn a level line, 50mm line there and a 50mm line there. But we've done this line already from before. We find the centre of the hot pipe, we do a little dash there. Like so. We've done a 50mm line to the bottom, a 50mm line to the bottom, measured up 50mm, and then 50mm again. And as you can sort of see the pipes where the clips are going to go. Right, do you remember the centre of the basin mark we drew earlier, which is there? Because we know that the clips have got to be 50mm apart, what we're going to do is we're going to measure across 25mm and 25mm from the centre mark. So we're going to measure 25mm and 25mm that way and do 2 lines. Right, so let's just recap on what we've done so far. So we've marked it out. So we've done from the centre of the pipes, we've done 2 level lines downwards using the spirit level. And then from the floor level, the finished floor level, we've measured up 50mm and done a level line across. And we've measured up 100mm and done a level line across. And then from the centre of the basin mark, we've measured 25mm and done a level line downwards, and we've measured 25mm along and done a level line downwards. Next job is let's work out where the clips are going to go. I think the more clips, the more neater your pipework looks. So in this case, let me show you how I would work out the clips for this. I'm thinking about there and there is I'm going to so using a spirit level, do a line there, a line there, so we have a clip there and a clip there. Okay, so we'll do a little circle, just to remind us, we know there's a clip to go there and there. And then like what we said before, if we've got a clip about there, I'd say probably somewhere about here probably looks about right. So what we'll do is we will draw a level line across, clip here and clip here. We can measure from there to there, which is 170mm, and we can then measure $170mm here. We've got one there, we've got one there. Okay, and then what we then do is we then look at this gap here, we measure it. So in this case, it is 300mm. So let's measure 300mm from here to here. A nice line like that. So there's going to be a clip going there, clip there. Oh, see this line here? We then transfer that across from there to there. So okay, so put a clip here and a clip here. Okay. Now using a bradawl, we're going to start to put the clips in. We're using hinged clips today. Right, so we've now installed all the pipe clips. We're now ready to install the copper pipework. What we're going to do first is we're going to pull two 90-degree bends all the way round. It's good practice to be aware of how deep the pipe goes into the fitting. And in this case, that's the line, and the pipe only goes that far. So we got again. So that's the line there. Pipe work goes all the way to there. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to measure. So we're going to measure this pipe from here all the way to the end. So we need, that is going to be 630mm, and then we've established from the centre line to where the pipe goes in to the pipe insertion depth. So to that line there is going to be 710mm. Right, so we need to cut a piece of pipe 1,340mm to do this one, so let's do it. is we need to then measure 710 millimetres. Okay, 710. So 710 mark from there to there. That's the fixed. We want this to be fixed. So we put this in this side of the pipe bender. We then put the guide in. So I put that's my 710 mark, and the line, the 710 line is there. So when we bend it, the centre of the pipe's going to go there. So just like in my previous tutorial videos I've made, that's what the pipe's going to look like when it's bent square 90 degrees. Looking at, I've now decided I think we need an extra clip here. Right, so what we do, from the middle of that clip, we're going to draw a line across. Alright, what we now do, get some pipe, push it into the clip, we then mark, using a pencil we mark it, where we're using a pipe slice. Put some flux around the pipe. Using a flux brush. Put some flux around the drain valve. Make sure we remove, you don't want to overheat the washer, so we remove that for this temporarily. And this time, right, what we're going to do, right, I really have the drain valve here. It's not going to work. Right, so what we're going to need to do is we're going to try and have it somewhere like this. Okay, so somewhere, that's what we'll do. out. Heat-proof mat. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do, solder up. At this stage, we push the lids on the clips. You finish with all this. Close. Okay, we won't close these just yet because we're working on this bit. We put some isolation valves in, and then connect some pipework up to the taps. So let's do that next. So we can get some clearance on the bends. I'm just going to cut this pipe a little bit. I'm going to cut the isolation valves about here. Get a piece of pipe with a tap connector. I'll then put another piece of pipe in there. And I'll then measure centre to centre. Okay, so we need to bend. So we need to bend 2 offsets, 90mm. So let's do that now. Just look at my other videos. We measure parallel on the edge, and that's reading 90mm there. So, alright, so it's a little bit. That's what we've got so far. That's how it's looking so far. But it's not quite. It's a bit of. I'm not happy with the interference with the clip. I'm not happy. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this a little bit shorter, so it sits a little bit above. So I'm going to cut a bit more off that. Cut a bit more off. I'll put it in place one more time. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so what we then do is make sure you put the washers on, fibre washer. Just do it up hand tight at this stage. All right, we then need to work out how far this goes into the fitting, because remember it all. Right, so this one goes in to that line there. So what we do, right, what we then need to do, we unscrew this finally. We pop this into here first. We pop this into the compression here. Do that one up. And put the basin underneath, and we then turn it. Turn. I know I waffle on, but it's all about getting the clips in level and right. If you get the clips in level and right, then your pipework will follow and look nice. So always focus on getting the clips right. We are now going to do the waste for the basin using 32mm pipe. We are going to connect it to the 32mm boss in this stack pipe. We are going to be using a bottle trap. So our pipe, this is our boss, we need to bring it closer to the wall. Right, that's our first job. And that. And that in that order. That then pushes on, and we just do it up hand tight at this stage. Wedging in, so you don't want to be doing it this way. You want it to be wedging in. is we then put some clips just in place, just some 32mm clips. So we're going to put a spirit level on it, on the pipe. That's level. We want it just a little bit upwards. What we'll then do is using our pencil, we'll mark it. So that's how it's looking so far. Can you see it's just got a slight slant on it? Okay. So far that's where we're at. Could put an extra clip in there just to finish it off. We could put a clip in the middle. Okay, so we can. This pipe can be level, so we want this level. Okay, so that is what the waste pipe looks like. Right, the first job is to have a visual inspection. So make sure that all the clips are secure, the pipework's secure, make sure that all the joints have been soldered. And then when you're happy with that, it's then best to check that all the joints are tight. Check that they're tight, just double check. Just double checking everything. Make sure the bottom of the drain valves are done up tight. Make sure that all the joints are nice and tight. So what I then do next, once I then turn off the isolation valves so they're in the off position. So that's currently when it's on, so make sure they're turned off. Right, so we're going to test our pipework in sections. So we're going to turn on the hot, and the water's going to go as far as there. We're going to turn on the cold, and the water's going to go as far as there. And then when we're happy, we're going to then switch the water on here to test to there, and from here to test to there. Switch on the water. Alright, we have a visual look. Right, so we now switch on the cold. We have a visual look, we check all the joints. Make sure the taps are turned off. And we then turn on the water to there. We have a visual look for leaks. So the water is now on all the way up to the taps. What we're going to do now, we're going to test our waste pipe work. So what we're going to do, right, so we'll fill the basin up all the way to the top. With the plug in. Right, so then pull the plug out. And we then, so we pull the plug out. And we then check for leaks, which in this case is all good. Now you know how to install the basin with copper pipe work and waste pipe, it's your turn to have a go.